Hello guys, it's the BJJ guy. Let's talk about what each belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu really means. Not the official definition, but what actually happens on the mats. Because in Jiu-Jitsu, a belt isn't just a color, it's a survival story. And by the way, if you think getting your next belt is about memorizing more techniques, you might be surprised by what you'll hear today. Let's get into it. White belt, the survival phase. White belt is just pure chaos. You have no idea what's going on, you're getting smashed every roll, and half the time you're not even sure what you're trying to do. I've literally seen white belts tap to their own move, for example after rolling themselves into a kimura. That's all normal, and honestly, this is why we love white belts. They're very entertaining. But as a white belt, you have one simple job. Don't quit. Learn how to move, how to breathe, how to tap, and just try to survive. That's it. Most people never make it past white belts. Depending on the gym, maybe 1 in 10 gets promoted to blue. The rest disappear. Work, injuries, ego, or just life. If you can survive this phase, if you just keep showing up, you're already winning. And when you become less entertaining to the higher belts and start noticing the funny mayhem of newer white belts, that's when you know you're ready for the blue. Blue belt, the reality check. Blue belt is where things finally start making sense. Well, kind of. You know what God is, you know what you should be doing, but your body still has a mind of its own most of the time. You will hit your first real submissions, maybe escape side control once or twice, and you'll start thinking, I don't think I'm getting good at this. And then your ego gets crushed by a more athletic white belt who immediately becomes your new arch nemesis. This is also the belt where many people vanish. We call it the blue belt blues. You've trained long enough to realize just how much you don't know, and that realization can hit hard. The trick here is simple. Just keep showing up. You don't need to be the best in the room, just better than you were last month. To find that motivation, you need to compare your progress to your past self, not to others. Purple belt, the identity phase. Purple belt is where your game finally shows. You're not just copying techniques anymore, you're starting to build your own style. You've got go-to sweeps, favorite submissions, and a guard you're actually proud of. You've also become a target for lower belts, but that's fine, you can handle it. There's no way you're tapping to a white belt now. And just like that, your ego starts growing again. At the same time, you're also getting humbled by how much there is still to learn. It's a confusing time. Purple belts is also where you start helping others, whether they ask for it or not. You're correcting beginners, explaining details mid-roll, and giving everybody advice between rounds. And that's when it hits you. Teaching Jiu-Jitsu is actually the best way to learn Jiu-Jitsu. You're far from perfect still, but your rolls are smoother, your ego is almost in check, and your confidence is real. Brown belt, the lazy phase. Brown belt is where you stop trying to learn everything and start perfecting your thing. You're smoother, smarter, and sneakier. You know what works, you've got answers for most positions, and you finally understand what timing and weight distribution actually mean. You start noticing tiny details other people miss. It's like you've unlocked Jiu-Jitsu vision. People in the gym look up to you now, which makes your ego grow again, because you're definitely not tapping to a white or blue belt. And if they do catch you in a submission, you'll just walk them through it and fix their technique. Like this, you never really tapped. Your ego is saved. But your body? Yeah, it's falling apart. Your joints complain, your back makes noises you've never heard before, and your warm-ups take longer time than your actual rounds. You might look lazy, but you're not. You are a fine-tuned killer machine that realizes that efficiency beats strength and speed every single time. Black belt, the full circle. I'm not a black belt yet, so this part isn't from personal experience, but from observation and conversations with the black belts that I know. Black belts isn't the finish line. It's where the real learning starts. You've spent years getting smashed, confused, humbled, and now you're finally calm about it. So calm, in fact, that you can submit lower belts while having a full conversation with the coach. So calm that you can fix your belt mid-roll without losing position. You're probably even rolled with 2 or 3 white belts at the same time and tap them all, maybe even blindfolded, smiling like it's nothing. You move with purpose, you teach with patience, and when a white belt spazzes out in your guard, you just smile because you remember exactly what that felt like. At this level, the game becomes simple again. It's not about collecting techniques anymore. It's about timing, control, and making everything effortless. You come full circle, from chaos to control, from ego to understanding. And if you're doing it right, you still roll with a smile. Every belt tells a story. It's not just about colors. It's about the person you become while wearing them. White belt taught you to survive. Blue belt tested your ego. Purple belt gave you identity. Brown belt gave you mastery. And black belt, it gave you peace. But here's the truth. It never really ends. Whether you're a white belt or a black belt, we're all just trying to solve the same puzzle, one roll at a time. So keep showing up, keep learning, and keep laughing at yourself along the way, because that's what Jiu-Jitsu is really about. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you recognize any of these situations from your own gyms. As always, see you on the mat.